Muppet Babies turned me on to aluminum foil. Kermit used it for a lake.
Oh.
And it was such a clear, beautiful lake that he made. I thought, oh, this is some good stuff. So I got the aluminum foil. I got super glue. I super glued the aluminum foil to the floor. As I was squeezing that super glue, squeeze, cum shot right in my eye. Had to go to the hospital. Yeah.
This sounds like quite a day for your parents.
It's a typical Tuesday, Dan. Muppet, we'll do it live. Muppet, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Dan.
And welcome to the Outtakes Podcast.
Mana mana. Mana mana.
Yay!
On today's episode, what are we talking about?
We are going to talk about the Muppets, both babies and show.
We're going to talk about the origins of the Muppets, our childhood experiences with the Muppets. We're going to cover new projects that the Muppets could be all about. It's going to be a blast.
Yes.
Yes.
Dan, can you tell me, what are the Muppets?
First of all, awesome. I would call them advanced puppets developed by the great Jim Henson. Maybe younger people nowadays are more familiar with the Muppets that are on Sesame Street that are on fire. But we grew up in a great time of The Muppet Show. And might I add, Muppet Babies, the animated spin-off. They actually brought that back for a little while on Disney Junior.
I saw that merchandising on Amazon, yes.
My kids aren't that young anymore, but they know the Muppets. One of my son's favorite movies for a while was that Muppet movie that Jason Segel did.
Love that one.
That was probably the real introduction to the Muppets for him. And that movie's about Jason Segel remembering the Muppet Show from when he was a kid.
It's about nostalgia.
The Muppet Show was awesome, man. They had real celebrity guest stars. It's crazy.
They were the baby SNL.
They were like the baby SNL. You'd have all these big names acting with Muppets for the whole episode. It was
pretty cool. What did the Muppets mean to you? How'd you get introduced to the Muppets, those Mups?
This is going to seem a little weird, but television.
Right. Who turned you on to it?
The remote control.
Did you did you have a remote control? Did you have one of those dial TVs?
No, we had, the rabbit ears. I had to walk up to the TV and turn the dials and kick it. I think when I was really young, Muppet Babies, I think, was first for me.
What channel was the Muppet Babies on?
Was it like a Nick Jr. thing or something?
No.
PBS? Was it a PBS deal?
No.
So it wasn't HBO is what you're saying.
It was beyond TV. No limits.
Fox had a lot of Saturday morning cartoons.
No. Rupert Murdoch would never. They're way too wholesome.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, let's see here.
Hey, Matt.
Uh-huh.
I'm sitting in a car, obviously.
Oh, you're hot.
No. I'm at very limited capacity.
You're beautiful.
You're a very high-tech guy with a lot of highfalutin equipment, and I'm wondering if you know how Google works. Because if I Googled what channel the Muppet Babies was on, I think it would have popped up 20 minutes ago.
So the Muppet Babies was first introduced in a fever dream from the Muppets Take Manhattan, where there was a live-action sequence.
Thank goodness for Google.
Thanks, Googs.
Hey, did you know that I actually saw the Muppet Babies live?
Ooh, go ahead. Tell me about it.
It was at the Mid-Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie.
Yep.
Nanny would come in every once in a while, but you would only ever see her legs.
Nanny raised me.
The set of Muppet Babies Live, the back of the set, a door would open and there was giant painted on nanny legs, and then the voice would boom over the speakers.
Holy shit. This is unearthing a treasure chest of memories because I was there. Dan, we were both at this show. I remember those legs. I went from 6 to midnight as a 3-year-old. I shot my diaper. Nanny was my hoe. My ho no mo. I had a little Kermit doll that I was very close to. So this Kermit doll was with me all the time. We hung out. We went pee together. We took baths together, traveled the world, caught and killed frogs together.
That's a little twisted.
When my sister was born, I was just about 3 years old, and Kermit was the only thing that could console me. My first memory ever, it was that trauma of knowing that I'm no longer the center of the universe. But guess what Kermit said? It's gonna be okay.
So he was like your safety blanket kind of thing. I mean, first of all, the Muppets definitely had a huge place in our lives. The Muppet Babies, Sesame Street, which Kermit was also on. He was a reporter.
Right.
Hi all, this is Kermit the Frog of Sesame Street News.
He had a trench coat.
Trench coat and a hat. Yeah.
What was he reporting on?
Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here, reporting from Sesame Street. Today, the letter H is walking in the rain.
All you needed was a letter, and us kids were like, ah. He would be crosshairs. Would it be fair to say that Kermit was our Tom Brokaw?
Oh, absolutely.
He was our Wolf Blitzer. He was a reporter. He did some songs, too, didn't he?
Caribbean Amphibian.
He was Jim Henson's main guy.
Yeah, that was his Mickey Mouse.
That's a good comp. Kermit in a lot of ways was his alter ego, like in the Mel Gibson movie The Beaver, directed by Jodie Foster. Very similar characters, Jim Henson and Mel Gibson.
But they'll never take our freedom!
Kindred spirits, even.
With your connection to your little Kermie, would you say Kermit was your favorite?
Oh, yeah. I know he wasn't your favorite because you always had these alt beta characters that you liked.
I would never go for the main,
I'm going to guess. Let me guess.
You're never going to guess it.
I'm going to guess your favorite.
Okay.
Scooter.
Fuck, you got it. No, it wasn't Scooter.
You dry bastard. Gonzo?
Probably, yeah, it was Gonzo.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, in the Muppet Babies, he had a sister named Skeeter. There was Scooter and Skeeter. He had a twin sister in that show, but she wasn't part of the Muppet Show or anything. It's just an invention of the Muppet Babies. I think they needed more little girl representation.
The demo's looking terrible. It's skewing way male. Nobody likes Miss Piggy. And all the boys are just staring at the legs of Nanny. What are we going to do about this? How about Scooter has a Skeeter? Nobody likes Scooter. I know, but let's just get these female executives off our ass and go to the golf course.
Pretty hilarious how you thought the 80s had female executives. I mean, hey, I would have been all for it. I just don't think they were there. Was Alf a Muppet?
Good question. No, he was not made by the Jim Henson Puppetry Workshop.
Interesting.
I knew the brand so well.
Just by sight?
Oh, yeah. The ping pong ball eyes. That was the signature of a good Muppet.
That's true.
The inspiration for Jim Henson, he took his mother's jacket.
She had a frog skin jacket.
Made from the body of Christ.
That was actually an offshoot inspiration for 101 Dalmatians, because it took about 101 frogs to make a jacket.
It was biblical. Jim Henson was sinning.
It was one of the plagues from Egypt when it was raining frogs.
I am a sinner. Frogs! Okay. According to performer and creator of Alf, Paul Fusco, Jim Henson was a big fan of Alf and wanted him to do a Muppet show. But I turned it down because I didn't want to be perceived as a Muppet.
Wouldn't it be funny if Paul Fusco was just an actor that played Alf and we just thought it was a puppet the whole time? He just looks that way.
What? I'm Harry.
If I go on the Muppet Show, they're going to think I'm a Muppet.
I'm Greek. What do you want from me? These 80s TV shows. Wait, was Webster a Muppet? Sorry, Webster.
No, Webster was a marionette.
Emmanuel Lewis, R.I.P. The Muppet Babies show was always having projects. They were always going to use their imagination.
I'm pretty sure that's the entire idea of the show. Someone would be Indiana Jones, and, their whole world turned into what they imagined it to be.
They would use the Muppet Baby Nursery. They would use materials around them. It gave me inspiration. One example, aluminum foil. Have you ever heard of it?
I'm familiar.
Muppet Babies turned me on to aluminum foil. Kermit used it for a lake.
Oh.
And it was such a clear, beautiful lake that he made. I thought, oh, this is some good stuff. So I got the aluminum foil. I got super glue. I super glued the aluminum foil to the floor. As I was squeezing that super glue, squeeze, cum shot. Right in my eye. Had to go to the hospital. Yeah.
This sounds like quite a day for your parents.
Yeah.
We got tinfoil glued to the floor. Matt's got the glue in his eye. We got to go to the oh, God.
It's a typical Tuesday, Dan. It's a typical Tuesday with me. At the end of the episode, what would happen? The nap. I love the nap. They just napped. Nanny would come by. What was Nanny doing? Who is Nanny?
Nanny was their nanny, and she would just let them glue tinfoil everywhere while she sat in the other room and drank.
Right. She was a paid human for these Muppet animals.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think you're meant to really know if she's human or not, because they never showed anything but her green and white tights.
In the 80s, they did that a lot, where they never gave backstories. They just kind of gave us broad strokes.
Yeah, fill in the blank.
Fill in the blanks. It was like Mad Libs. We didn't really need to understand why a baby frog and a baby pig were fucking. We didn't need to know.
That's right. We just knew that it is what it is.
I wasn't really focusing on baby effing, but bleep. I can remember the song.
When your world looks kind of weird and you wish that you were there,
just close your eyes and make believe, and you can be anywhere.
Muppet, 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 baby. Yeah, it went something like that.
Wow. Ooh, you give me the tingles. That's what a good theme song does, Dan. I think the Muppet Babies might have been more important to me than Sesame Street. It was more impactful than even, I think, Disney.
Whoa.
Kermit and Company, you would see them in person interacting with humans. This has to be real.
Yeah.
It was magical, but it was also tangible.
Yeah, so Muppet Babies was really important to me, too. It was the perfect gateway drug into the Muppet Show.
When I watched Muppets Take Manhattan and I saw the Muppet Baby crossover, my mind was...
Yeah.
Am I dreaming this? I still think I'm dreaming it. What the fuck is that all about?
Pretty crazy stuff, man.
They were so cute.
Yeah.
Dan, you know how I'm going to be a father again? I think I want a little Muppet baby, a little puppetry baby, instead of the flesh and blood thing.
I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to visit the hospital when your new child is born, and I am going to wrap it in felt and sew it closed. Maybe a couple of staples, some hot glue. I'm going to turn your baby into a Muppet Baby. That's going to be my gift.
Saw 6 with Dan.
Here you go, Matt. Don't try to put your hand in.
It's not that kind of puppet. I love the Muppets so much that I would make my own puppets.
Like brown paper bag puppets and sock puppets and stuff like that? Or you would try to...
No. That could not satiate me.
So what'd you do? Wait, I'm trying to think of how you were as a kid. Now I'm guessing that you took a cushion from the couch and tried to carve it into something. Yeah.
The couch was just torn to shreds. My mom's best dresses. I would take my mom's dresses. I would take my clothes. And this is when I'm like 10 at this point. I read a biography on Jim Henson. I've read 2 books in my life. I read how Jim Henson put together Kermit. I need ping pong balls, the felt, the material, but I couldn't sew. I had terrible manual dexterity. I ended up making a huge mess. I did make one called Coolie Manny Channy. He was half sock puppet and then half kind of like...
Half your mom's lingerie?
Right, half my mom's lingerie. And she said, "This is Coolie Manny Channy." Do you remember my 8th grade art project?
Of course I remember your art project. I still think about it often. The Matfish.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, our 8th grade art class was supposed to make a papier-mâché sculpture, a sea creature of our own invention that we imagined. And then we were supposed to sculpt it out of papier-mâché and paint it and present it to the class. A lobster that has a mermaid's tail and whatever we came up with. And of course, Matt being Matt, made a Matfish. Basically, Matt as a mermaid.
Beautiful.
And you know, it came out wonderfully. It looked just like you.
Thank you.
But most of your creativity back then was just doing stuff about you.
People, they would never know that I'm a narcissist.
Okay, we're back. Anyway, yeah, your narcissism.
Muppets and narcissism. I was the best. Okay? Dan and I went to an all-boys school. I let my fellow students desecrate and destroy and dominate my Matfish. They said, "Can we destroy it?" And before I kind of even thought about it, not having boundaries, I said, sure. As they were doing it, I was secretly crying inside.
To make things worse, they really enjoyed doing it. Like a little too much.
Yeah.
This is a mat we can tear the actual head off of. Nice.
Let's say I had a little idea.
Uh-huh.
We got to get these Muppets relevant again. The Muppets are hurting. They haven't had a new movie in years.
I know, it's sad.
We could talk about why that is, but I want to first jump into how we can fix it. And I think we need an all-human Muppet movie.
Yes.
We need an all-human cast. What are some of your dream actors? Let's brainstorm this.
Listen, I'm not going to just cast whoever, I want it to be a good fit. So I'm not going to say Kermit's going to be Brad Pitt or something like that,
Yeah, he's like 60.
For Kermit, I would cast Fred Stoller.
Fred Stoller. How do I know that name?
He's a comedian. He's guest starred in a lot of stuff. He has a very Kermit voice.
He's 67.
Yeah, but he's a good fit.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Fred Stoller's a good fit for Kermit. Miss Piggy, got to be Amy Schumer.
She was on my list.
She's beautiful and blonde.
Right answer.
And she has attitude,
She's got some sass to her.
She's sassy.
She looks like she can handle herself.
Yeah, I could definitely see her pulling off that Miss Piggy karate chop deal,
Yep.
Oh, how do you feel about this? The 2 old men that were always...
Statler and Waldorf.
Statler and Waldorf. My idea for them, De Niro and Pacino.
I like it. Do you think that De Niro and Pacino can handle that much dialogue at this age? They're pretty freaking old.
Yeah, they can handle it.
Okay, they can handle it.
Plus, they get to just kind of sit down the whole time.
Right. Give me Fozzie. Who do you think for Fozzie?
Fozzie, Zach Galifianakis.
Didn't think of that one. That's a good one. What's his arc in the movie? Fozzie could be a really good plot driver. He could have a crisis. I always saw Fozzie Bear as a drug addict, kind of, a sad sap.
You're going a little darker than what I was. I was just thinking that he realizes he's actually not that funny.
That's even worse.
And then has a whole identity crisis.
Happens to me on a daily basis. That's way better. Dan, how about Gonzo?
Gonzo. Okay. Jason Mantzoukas.
Very good. He straddles the line between pervert, way too weird, but acceptable to audiences, and funny.
I'm a big fan of what he did on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He was like just a nutcase.
Kind of sweet, though, because Gonzo has to be a little sweet, too.
He was a little sweet, but he also was like used to working undercover all the time and kind of lost his mind a little bit. But what are your picks?
I thought about this very hard. What would be the most marketable? What would get people interested? Now, Fred Stoller is not getting butts into seats.
Okay.
We need a leading man with Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog needs to be played by Chalamet. All right?
No, boo!
He's not my first choice. He's on the list, though. I want to get this movie made. We need a primetime actor. I like the idea of Bill Hader.
Yes, I actually had Bill Hader in my list too, but he was somebody else.
Bill Hader, maybe in a restrained performance, playing the straight man. We know that he can do that. He would play well off of Amy Schumer. They were in Trainwreck together, right? Fozzie Bear, Seth Rogen.
Yeah, that's good.
Gonzo, Adam Driver, going full method.
Yeah, I mean, he could do it.
Adam Driver as a Big Bird. He could be Big Bird.
He could be Big Bird. He could be Gonzo, too. He's very versatile.
I really struggled with Big Bird. I wanted a child who's 7 feet tall, and they don't really exist. So I was thinking of like the NBA player Victor Wembanyama, but he's Parisian, not an actor, and in the NBA. Probably he's not interested.
How about Pat Cook?
Pat Cook, you fuck. Pat Cook was a childhood chum. Not really a chum. It was more of an enemy who destroyed my mailbox on several occasions. Looked a lot like Big Bird. But if Big Bird was smelly and greasy, had an ugly mother, and his brother looked like Cookie Monster, punched in a bunch of times, busted teeth. Yeah.
So, yeah, Adam Driver's good.
Animal.
Oh, I have a good one for Animal, but what's yours?
Jack Black?
Jack Black is a very good choice for Animal.
What do you think?
Eric Andre.
Ooh, I hate him, but he's good.
I'm not a huge fan of him either. I just thought that's probably a good fit for Animal.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if we had a good drummer.
Oh, Stamos.
Book him. I love it. Enough said. Stamos, Animal.
That's it.
It just jumps off the page. I'm thinking Nathan Fielder, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew.
Okay. I was thinking Jason Alexander.
He's a snob.
Well, my thinking was Jason Alexander as Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker Bill Hader.
Bill Hader's got to be in it somehow. We have not named any black people in our cast.
I have an idea for one. What's yours?
Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy could be Kermit. Leslie Jones could be Miss Piggy. Quinta Brunson could be Miss Piggy. Quinta Brunson could be Kermit.
Quinta Brunson can be whatever she wants to be.
We could do Kiki Palmer.
I was casting Craig Robinson as Rolf.
Ooh, you racist. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's not racist. I mean, you know, Rolf plays the piano. So does Craig Robinson.
He does. It's perfect.
For.
Jared Carmichael could play Gonzo. Michael B. Jordan as an alt Kermit.
Okay.
We'll slim him down. He could draw on his childhood trauma of being teased at Newark High School.
I don't know, man. No matter what we do with Michael B. Jordan, I think he's just too sexy to be Kermit.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay.
I was thinking of a Rizzo the Rat.
Yeah, I had one too. Go ahead.
Who's yours?
Pete Davidson.
Oh, that's good. That's very good.
I'm not a huge fan, but I think it would work.
I had him as Nick Kroll.
That would work. I prefer a Kroll. I would love to get Tim Robinson in there. Are you a fan?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan. I really don't care about him. Did you have anybody cast for Sam Eagle?
You've never even watched the show.
What show?
I think you should leave.
What show?
I think you should leave.
I'm not leaving. What show?
That's the name of the show. I think you should leave.
You still haven't said the name of the show, and I'm not leaving.
Dan, I think you should leave. That is it.
Well, too bad. I'm here.
Who's on first?
No, I never watched it, but I will not check it out. Did you have anyone? Did you have anyone cast for Sam Eagle?
Sam Richardson.
Did you?
Yes,
Did you?
Yes, I do. Yes, I
Who?
do. Who do you have? You've been talking about him.
John Hamm.
Oh. Yes. I love it.
Perfect, right?
What about Sam Richardson? Sam Richardson is Fozzie.
Yeah, that's a good one, too.
He can play desperate, and he's so lovable. I think that would be something we should consider. Statler and Waldorf.
Statler, yeah.
Statler. Steve Martin and Martin Short.
That would be pretty awesome. They would do it some real justice.
You know, they got the chemistry.
They heckle each other back and forth all the time.
Yeah. Could see Conan O'Brien being maybe Beaker. I don't know. I just love Conan O'Brien.
I do, too. I mean, that could work. They got the same hair.
And then the last one, Pepe the King Prawn. I don't even know Pepe the King Prawn very well.
I do.
And he's a newer character.
No, he's not newer. Stop it. Stop it. Jesus Christ.
I will stop. Give me a prawn.
I actually didn't pre-think about this one, but I got to squeeze him in somewhere. John Mulaney.
Ooh, love it. I want to give some alts for Miss Piggy. We got to try to bring in the female demographic a little bit. And Amy Schumer.
But we know at the end of the day, it's going to Amy Schumer.
Everyone wants it, but there's a lot of Hollywood executives saying, does she put button seats? All right. Does she put button seats? This would have to be cast dependent. But if Kermit the Frog was played by Jake Gyllenhaal, Miss Piggy would have to be played by Maggie Gyllenhaal. Brother, sister playing lovers. Lock it in.
You really do fit into Hollywood, bro. That's some idea there.
How about Lizzo, Miss Piggy?
No.
It would get butts into seats. Consider it. The way you said that with that tone. God. Heidi Gardner. Think she's got range.
That would be good.
You're not interested in any of the Miss Piggy cast. You want Amy Schumer.
No, Heidi Gardner would be good. Or Chloe Feynman could do a good job with it, too.
How about Nanny played by Sally Field or Meryl Streep?
Oh, Sally Field, that's good.
Yeah. Okay, this is a nice little cast. Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog here.
There's no way in hell I'm putting Fred Stoller in this film.
Fred Stoller is Kermit the Frog. When Kermit wants to go out in public, he puts on a human skin suit, and he goes out as comedian Fred Stoller. Because he still wants to be somewhat known. So when he goes out into public, he's Fred Stoller. And then he goes back home and takes the skin suit off.
No, it's got to be... Do you remember in Muppets Take Manhattan, didn't they have like a human version of Kermit? Of what Kermit would look like as a human? I feel like that was in that film.
I got it. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Well, everybody wants Lee Cap.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Of course. We can get him. I'd say Chalamet.
No. Chalamet's out. I'll agree to Hader or Idris Elba. I'm not agreeing to Chalamet.
Ooh, Idris Elba would be good. He's got the small head.
Yeah.
It would work. He was good in The Office as a straight man. I don't think he really understood that The Office was a comedy or not. I'm not sure. I'll give you Amy Schumer for Miss Piggy, but we gotta have a big name for Kermit if that's the case.
You're right.
So Fozzie, I think Zach Galifianakis is our first choice. Gonzo, Adam Driver, first choice. Anything if Adam Driver wants to be a Big Bird too. Animal, Jack Black.
No, Stamos.
Oh, sorry. John Stamos. Any age. Ralph the Dog, Craig Robinson. Swedish Chef.
I think that's where we stick Jack Black.
Okay, love it. Sam the Eagle, John Hamm. Perfect. Honeydew, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew. Maybe Nathan Fielder. Maybe Conan O'Brien. Maybe Tim Robinson. Am I missing anyone? Did I? Nope.
Yeah, whatever.
Beaker, Michael Cera. We could do Heidi Gardner as Beaker. I don't know if we had any other Beakers.
I said Hader as Beaker.
Your jaw gets really funny when you do that. Do that again. For Statler and Waldorf, we got Steve Martin and Martin Short. Rizzo the Rat, Pete Davidson, and then Pepe the King Prawn.
We sticking with Mulaney for that?
Yeah, let's do Mulaney for that. And then who's going to play the chicken?
Camilla?
Yes. Lizzo?
Sure. Danny Sally Field?
Sally Field, Meryl Streep if we can get her. I want to pitch a director that I think would just knock this out of the park. He hasn't got a lot of time.
Roman Polanski.
It's got to be Roman Polanski. And if he is not able to get into the country because of his legal status as a criminal, sex criminal, Jordan Peele would be my first choice. He would perfectly get the Muppet Babies.
Jordan Peele is definitely a solid, good choice. I did have somebody in my head, and I'm blanking right now. Forget it. Michael Bay.
Michael Bay? He's doing Skibbity Toilet, Dan. He's busy. My 9-year-old son is... Do you know that Michael Bay is directing Skibbity Toilet? Closing thought. We love those Muppets. Formative, out of the birthing canal for me. Popped out, I was a Muppet boy. I was a Muppet boy for life. We need to figure out how to get these kids hooked again. This gateway drug that is the Muppets, because the kids are not all right. We didn't even get to Sesame Street.
That's a whole other world, another topic adjacent to this, but...
It's a different lane.
It's a different street, if you will.
It's a different street. Right now, it's being propped up by the government. And Netflix is the government. Netflix saved them, and I'm so happy, but I'm not happy enough to watch it myself. Sometimes I pity scroll, click on it, put it on in the background just so it gets some numbers.
Yeah, I'm sure you're making a big difference there.
Doing my part.
Every view counts.
Dan, do you have any advice for the Muppets other than this great movie that we're going to produce?
First of all, this great movie we're going to produce is going to fucking take the world by storm. I'm telling you that.
We're going to pitch it.
Yeah. Muppets, I'm talking directly to the Muppets. Get on social media. Get with the times. I'm not a big proponent of social media, but if you're going to be relevant again, do something. Going on X and posting racist shit, people will be talking about you in no time.
Try to make a Elon Musk puppet, at least. Make a new Muppet.
Start a fake feud. Kermit, go on there and randomly name someone and say they're on the Epstein files.
Don't put Kermit into this. That's off-brand. It could be Miss Piggy.
Gonzo could do it.
Gonzo could do it.
Yeah.
Let's not defile Kermit's memory.
Hey, everybody. This is Gonzo. I was hanging out with Tom Cruise, and he was telling me about his trips to the Epstein Island. Just to let you know. Signing off.
He was a good photographer. I loved how they put the Muppets in different jobs. They're great. Let's not forget it. We believe in you, Muppets. Until then, love you. Okay.
Yes.
Mana, do, 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 do. Check it out. Like and subscribe. Click on my eyeballs like a puppet eyeball.
A little lower.
Click, subscribe. Click it. Type it.